just want to get your point across. You're just trying to have a good conversation. And the next thing you know, you end up being told that you're aggressive. So have you been told by your woman that you're too aggressive, or you're controlling, or maybe you need to speak up, or you say one thing, but you mean something else? And you're just trying to figure out, what is the middle ground? How can you be assertive? What is being assertive? That's what we're going to cover in this video. What does it mean to be assertive? What exactly does that mean? Does that mean be less aggressive? Does that mean be more than passive? Being assertive is you asserting yourself in a way that's not aggressive. You're not controlling. You're not passive. You're not passive aggressive. You say what you mean what you say, and there's no ulterior motive behind what you're saying. You're just trying to get your point across. That's being assertive, not being in fear when you're trying to tell her something, or you're asking her something, or you're just trying to communicate. Because when you're aggressive is fear-based. Aggressive is you using fear to get your point across to somebody to where they do what you want them to do, and they fear you because of your aggression. And it's also part of being controlling. You may not have been told that you are being aggressive. You may have been told that you're being controlling, and that's part of being aggressive, is when you're controlling. Being controlling, being aggressive, all those things are fear with a mask. And that's the same with you being passive aggressive. Passive aggressive is you being aggressive, but you're being passive about it. You're being covert about it, to where inside your mind, you're upset, you're angry, but you don't want to show it. You're afraid to show it. So you're just going to be passive about it. And then there's you being passive. You being passive is you being like a people pleaser or a nice guy. And that's where you don't want to upset her. You want to tell her what you want. You want to talk to her, but you're stepping on eggshells. All of those things are covered in fear. It's a mask. It's a mask with fear right behind it. And once you understand that, and you understand assertive is you communicating without fear. The best way that I can explain what being assertive is and communicating assertively is you being direct without the fear of the response that she's going to give you. There's no fear. You don't have to use anger. You don't have to be a people pleaser or a nice guy. You just say what you want. You say what you mean, and you stand on it without being aggressive, without being controlling, or without being passive. When you want to communicate assertively, just say what you want to say. Say what you have to say and communicate in a way that you really want to communicate without all the extra stuff. And once you apply that and you do that in your next conversation, you'll realize that you are actually getting your point across. And the benefit, this is the benefit of being assertive as well, and having assertive communication. If you're aggressive or you're controlling, what that does to the woman is that either A, she shuts down and gets emotional because you're being aggressive, you're trying to control her, or she's going to be aggressive right back at you. And if she's aggressive right back at you, then your point's not going to get across to her. And then if you're passive or passive aggressive, she's going to see you as that pushover, that nice guy, and she's going to get aggressive, or she's not going to take you seriously. So that's the benefit of you actually being assertive. Think about what I said. Be assertive. Practice that every day. Anything that you do, any interactions with anybody, practice saying what you want to say without fear or without the other three things that I mentioned. Being aggressive, passive aggressive, or being passive. Just be assertive.